April is International Jazz Appreciation Month, so join the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center and 88.1 K-Jazz for Broadway in the Leimert Park, the West Coast's biggest Jazz Appreciation Month celebration, as we pay tribute to Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, John Coltrane, Duke Ellington, Sarah Vaughan, Dizzy Gillespie, Dinah Washington, Joe Williams, Billie Holiday, B.B. King, Lena Horne, and many, many more. It all starts on April 1st, all the way through April 30th. There'll be educational lectures and shows by yours truly, Barbara Morrison, the John Stevens Quartet, Al Williams and the Jazz Society, Jay Jackson, Sloan Robinson, and many more. Proceeds from Broadway in the Leimert Park will benefit the California Jazz and Blues Museum. All this will take place at the BMPAC in Leimert Park. For full event and ticket purchase information, please go to barbaramorrison.com. We'll see you here.
Hello everyone. I'm so sorry I can't be with you tonight. However, I couldn't completely miss the chance to take a moment to share some thoughts with all of you. The lesson I cherish the most is how important it is to love what you do. If you love what you do and it's making you happy, all the hard work and perseverance will pay off. I once had a guidance counselor tell me that I shouldn't play basketball, that it would never amount to anything for me. His negativity towards me made me stronger. You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it. So with that, I'll let you carry on with your evening. Please know I'm thinking of you, supporting you, and encouraging you always. Peace.
This is a song for Kobe. When Jesus walked, 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 with my sins away. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Hi, this is Alan Shay, and we want to thank you for joining us today. We are hosting the California Blues and Jazz second annual inductee event here in Los Angeles, featuring the one and only Queen of Jazz, Ms. Barbara Morrison. So stay with us and enjoy the event.
Give a round of applause to the divine Barbara Morrison.
seen from us. Now know there's a happy story, yet it comes down the day of glory. Cause lady, the nights and things and what they used to be. Come on, that I finally took me as a boy. It's got me walking around with my head up, eyes on the floor, routine set up. That's why I see a victory. I tell you these everything to me. So it could be nothing. Got some dream of doing nothing. So it will be nothing. I feel so I'm fire rising. I can see it all. And that's the thing that we used to be. There's been dark times. Now the road is round. I know there's a happy story. Yes, you know, down to the hill. Oh, Lydia, since the used to be. Come on, look at that body. Fine to be as it's got me walking around with my head up. I know the glow of tinted. That's why I see a victory. I tell you the thing they used to be.
Hi, this is Alan, and we are on the red carpet here at the second annual California Jazz and Blues. So we have one of the legendary artists here. So why don't you share with the viewers your name and what you think about this type of event here in Los Angeles?
Well, my name is Alfred L. Borders. Nobody calls me that. I'm actually Doc Silky Scratch. I'm the artist that the Crusaders called the album Scratch back in the 60s. So I'm absolutely loving it. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to have been asked by Barbara, the wonderful Barbara Morrison. I call her Mama Matriarch, to be a part of this great grand event. So I'm really thrilled. I'm honored.
Another thing you told me as an 18-year-old, I'm gonna be better than Mike. So I knew it definitely drove you. And you know, it's always gonna be those comparisons when somebody's come before you and you do some. I mean, I don't know if you patterned the game after him or not. I don't know if you watched him in high school, but there was a lot of similarities. But I know that day you passed up Michael Jordan, I know you was probably riding in your car like,
you know what, man? I thought I would be. But like, what happened is when I came in the league and I wanted to take him on, right? I mean, all I heard was, you know, they called him Black Panther, they called him Black Jesus and all this stuff. I said, I want to see what this is about. And, but what happened is that he wound up becoming a big brother to me.
Where you going, man? I know where you're going. You gotta get up quick. If you knew where I was going, why you go for the fake? Mike, after you fake the ball, where else you gonna go? You left your feet. Yeah, but where else you gonna go? In the game, I go for you. I spun all the way around. I go for these ribs right here.
He saw something in me that reminded him a lot of himself when he was coming up. And he took me under his wing a lot and showed me a lot of things, taught me a lot of things, a lot of leadership things.
Kobe Bryant passes the great Michael Jordan and moves into third on the NBA's all-time scoring list.
So when I passed him up, I remember talking to him afterwards and saying, you know, this is kind of, it's you know, like he's still here. The information and the stuff that he's passed on to me, I'm breathing that spirit back into the game all over again, which is a lot of the reason why I try to do that now for the next generation, because he did that for me. Bill Russell did that for me. Jerry West and all you guys, but Michael in particular.
Relax, Max. Your words are just like jumping jacks, Max. Your heart is beating with a crazy sound, up and down. It's bumping, thumping, bumping, thumping all around. Stay cool, just take it easy, that's your move. The evening hasn't even started yet, so I beg, control yourself, don't get upset. Don't think I'm too cold when I say you're too bold. I've been moved by the moon up above now. I want your kiss just as you want my kiss, but a kiss is not a kiss without love. So relax, Max. Don't make me stop you in your tracks. But first you got to prove your love is true, and when you do, I love you, love you, love you like you want me to. Hey, just sing this big bluesy band. Don't think I'm too cold when I say you're too bold. I've been ruled by the moon up above. I want your kiss just as you want my kiss. Come on, man. Relax. Why don't you? Just relax, Max. Don't make me stop you in your tracks, Max. But first you got to prove your love is true. When you do, I'll love you, love you, love you like you want me to. Oh, come on, man. You can do it. Relax, Max.
And why don't you share with the viewers before we let you go, how important is this type of history and this type of event for Los Angeles, and certainly to keep the jazz and blues community relevant in today's genre of music?
Well, certainly it is ultra important. It is ultra necessary, and it's ultra needed because it brings back or keeps in our minds and in our spirits and in our hearts and desires the need for the music, the need for the arts, the need for the continuing volume of production, sound-wise, artistically, and otherwise. So it's extremely important. Nothing could be more important, honestly, especially now that there's such a need for people to reach out and enjoy life without totally having to hear about all the other goings on. So it's very necessary, and I'm thrilled to be a part.
Please welcome to the stage, Brother Jay Jackson.
Yeah. Come on, put your hand like that. Listen, listen. I told you, baby, how I feel. One word can close this deal. Hey, baby, be my queen of hearts. Please give me that love you got. Won't you say yes? Don't you say no? Make me feel good, kitty. You know that song? Hey, baby, I'm just wasting time. I can't get you off of my mind. Hey, you can make me feel so good. I know you could if you only would. Won't you say yes? Don't you say no? Make me feel good. I wrote you a 6-page letter and called you on the phone, but you were busy talking about this weather. Kitty-o, don't you know that's wrong? Can't stand this playing around. Help me, but don't you let me down. Hey, kiss me, baby, I miss so. Well, if you love me, let me know. Won't you say yes? Don't you say no? Make me feel good, kitty-o. They make me feel so good, so good, kitty-o. Thank you so much.
Before we let you go, what would you share with the young folks and the young viewers about how important it is for them to understand what Barber is doing for the community?
I would say, young people, make sure you have a vision and let that vision be something that's your passion. If it's in the arts, all the better, because we welcome you. If it's something having to do with sound engineering or production or film or theater, whatever, pursue that and let your inner expressions come out. Be giving, give something back to the community. We need that from all of y'all now. We need to put away anything else but positivity and production and forward movement and togetherness and unity. There's no other time that we need that than right now. So I'm really pleading, I'm asking all of you young people to give an ear to the times that we're in. And let's move forward with love, dignity, and prosperity.
Put your hands together. Amen.
Hey everyone. Is this a fun event? Thank you, Barbara Morrison. And I'm not alone. Hey,
honor we're here to recognize our latest honorees. In the house, if the family member is here, please come to the stage and join us. Our first honoree, Brother Johnny Otis. Come on up stage. Come on up stage. Our next honoree, Carl Randall. Give a round of applause. And I believe Alan Shay. Yes, that's you. Brother Alan Shay.
Well, you know, I have to hand it all up to Barbara because she was like a sister, and she's always looking out for us, all of us, all the time. So thank you, Barbara. Love you.
So Alan. So I first met Alan last year when we did the show at the Catalina Bar and Grill. So you're here to receive it for what?
For media coverage. And first of all, I'd like to thank Barbara Morrison. I wish everybody would give her a standing ovation at this point for bringing us all together and actually creating an earmark in the genre of jazz and blues in the Southern California community, and certainly in Leimert Park. Barbara has moved me in such ways that I didn't even know I could be moved. She has pulled together young people, she has pulled together wise people, and she's pulled together people who are relevant to the community and to the music of jazz. I am so privileged to be here to share the media and how important it is. As most of you know, the media is one of the most profound areas that guide us in everything we do. I'm only going to take 2 minutes and share a little story with you why I was so delighted to have this opportunity. I went to Barbara about 3 months ago and told her a guy named Lil Nas X. Have you guys heard of him? Okay. This young man has truly redefined how important it is for us to understand media, music, and what the next chapter is. If we don't focus in on this for our youth and for the preservation of jazz, we will not be able to have a true focus on our future. And here we are today where Barbara Morrison has brought all of us together to ensure that if we pay attention, we can then continue to pass this on. Last year, Barbara pulled together such an awesome event at the Catalina Club that we aired a show for her birthday last week. Right, and if any of you want to go back and take a look at it, it was a phenomenal show. It almost brought tears because it showed the true essence of community. I made a commitment to follow Barbara in every step of her journey since meeting her, and I've known her about 10 years, and we have so much documentation on her, it'll make you cry. But we want to donate everything we have to her museum, so we will forever have a way to trace what her commitment has been to jazz, to blues, and certainly to Los Angeles. So thank you.
All right, we were able to capture 2 more guests as they were walking across the red carpet, and we wanted to make sure that they give a big shout out for today's event. Why don't you share with the viewers your name and why is this event so important to you?
My name is Darren Milton, and this is my brother Kevin Milton, and our mother is Kobe Bryant. So for this event to be special, it's beyond an honor and a pleasure to be here to participate. My mother would have done it no other way. She would have had it no other way. She's a legend of her own right, in her own time. And yeah, this event, it honors all jazz legends, and that keeps their dream alive. So that's what we're here to do, and this program definitely keeps dreams alive for all of our artists and our ancestors as well. So
we just wanted to come by just for a few minutes to congratulate everybody that's being inducted into the hall, which happens to be in my district. Let's give them another round of applause. We can't thank you guys and ladies enough for all that you've given us over the years good times. You help us get through pain, help us fall in love, help us fall out of love. You help us do all of that, and we love you for that.
The way you look tonight, Frank Sinatra, sung by Ryan Nealon.
Someday, when I'm awfully low and the world is cold, I will feel her glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Yes, you're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you. It's the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my feet apart. And that laugh, it wrinkles your nose and touches my foolish heart. Love me, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Give it up for Tony Nandez. With these words, your tenderness grows, tearing my feet apart. It wrinkles your nose and touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight. Thank you. On my casual, here I go, swinging low. Bye, 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 blackbird. Where somebody went from me, sugar, so sweet, so is she. Bye, 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 blackbird. No one seems to love or understand me. And oh, what hard love stories they all have me. So make my bed like the light. I'll arrive late tonight, blackbird. Bye-bye. Back up all my cares and the road. The head right go swinging low. Bye-bye, blackbird. Where somebody went for me, sugar, so sweet, so is she. Bye-bye, blackbird. No one here to love or understand me. And know what hard luck stories play on me. Make my friends like the light. Now I'm right, pretty down, late tonight. Bye-bye.
What would you like to share with the viewers? Let them know.
Okay, this event is a celebration, and our mother loved to celebrate and party, so she definitely would be all about this type of event going on. I think it's important to remember all the greats that have come before, the cats that are going to be great tomorrow. So honoring all these individuals, all these names that are on the chart. We grew up knowing them, and I just want to say thank you for inviting us to represent our mother.
Barbara's honored our mother before, so this is definitely a great honor for us to even be here and to participate with an event such as these.
Wow, well, we certainly look forward to a great event. So we're going to jump on in here, gentlemen, and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Girls, we are joined by a young talent who came in as a special guest. And so as you get seated, please, if you will, welcome Kaylin Jackman.
Hi everybody, how are you guys doing? I just want to say I'm so honored to be able to perform here, and I just want to say happy birthday to Miss Morrison. It's an honor to perform for you.
So on stage is her little brother, Jordan Jackman.
In the sky, you'll get by. You smile. if it's the last thing I do. I'll make you mine, baby. My first thought is you. You're in my design, just like the stars guard the moon above you. That's how God, I love so. Baby, love me. Baby, please love me. If it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna hold your hand, although I won't say a word. I know you'll understand. We'll build a dream just for two, and I'm gonna do my very best to make it come true. If it's the very last thing that I do. Just like the stars are the moon above you. That's how God, I love so. Baby, love me. Baby, please, please love me. If it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna hold your hand, although I won't say a word. I know you'll understand. We'll build a dream just for two, and I'm gonna do my best, my very best to make it come true. If it's the very last thing, if it's the last thing, the very last thing, if it's the very last thing that I do.
Hi, we're back, and we were able to capture this man who is Mr. Dynamic, Mr. Charismatic, and the man who got that voice that I wish I had.
Oh, man, what are you talking about? Brother Shay, always good to be here, man. Good to see you and hang with you and, you know, be at this wonderful event.
It was a different country with a different language. Even though he had his family, he was essentially alone. So Kobe looked inward and developed the relentless drive to work on his game. When his family moved back to Philadelphia, that time spent alone on the court paid off, as Kobe announced his arrival to the basketball world. He was the top high school player in the country, breaking Wilt Chamberlain's scoring records, becoming a celebrity at 16. Kobe's next step may have seemed ambitious, but with his basketball pedigree and work ethic, it was an easy decision.
I, Kobe Bryant, decided to take my talent to the NBA.
Moves on Russell again, turns and puts up a tremendous field goal.
I think it takes years of players relying on you to take the big shot, make the great play.
You know, do the things that bring success to the team. That's what it's all about.
It's getting out and measuring yourself against others. And I think that when you have an attitude like that, that's part of greatness.
At first I met Kobe was just out of high school. He was out here for a workout, and I've never seen anyone work out as hard as Kobe.
I've never seen anybody that prepared. He was 17 years old and was ready to play NBA basketball. That's pretty amazing.
I think Jerry West was the one who said this. He said, I want this kid because this kid has more talent than anybody I have playing for me right now. And he had a great team. Just a kid who would never take a night off. Even if it wasn't going well, it was always going to be trying to slay the dragon.
If you don't have that type of work ethic, you don't get to enjoy the benefits.
Out to Kobe. Ball away high. What a way to finish!
My philosophy was a very simple one. And this is where I think film plays a big part of my life. Rudy was one of my favorite films growing up. After watching that film, I come to understand if I could work that hard every day, with being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, you do that for 20 years, what do you have?
When you leave, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Tyrone Perkins.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to celebrate Billy X9. If you feel like you want to snap your fingers, clap your hands, work with me. Come on. Yeah. That old black magic has me in its spell. That old black magic that we use so well. Those icy fingers up and down my spine. That same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. That same old tingle that I feel inside. And then that elevator starts its ride. And down I go. Round and around I go. Like a leaf that's caught in the tide. I should stay away. What can I do? I hear your name
chamber.
When I take my sugar to tea, all the boys are jealous of me, 'cause I never take her where the game goes. When I take my sugar to tea, I'm a rowdy dowdy, that's me. She's a high-hat mama, that's she, 'cause I never take her where the game goes. When I take my sugar to tea, every Sunday afternoon, we forget about our cares, rubbing elbows at the wrist with those millionaires. When I take my sugar to tea, all the guys are jealous of me, 'cause I never take her where the game goes. When I take my sugar to tea, hey! Big bluesy band, ladies and gentlemen. Every Sunday afternoon, we forget about our cares, rubbing elbows at the wrist with those millionaires. When I take my sugar to tea, I'm as ritzy as I can be, 'cause I'll never take her where the game goes. When I take my sugar, when I take my sugar, when I take my sugar to tea, she'll be there waiting on me. I love you.
God great chambers, everybody. God great chambers.
Well, it's great to see you. And why don't you share with the viewers, first of all, your name so they can really know the power that Barbara brings in from our own community, and two, really how much and how significant is an event like this for the Los Angeles community and the industry of jazz.
Sure. My name is Jay Jackson. As far as how important this is for the community, there is no measurement for it, because we have to remember Los Angeles is one of the main cities that we're going to have as far as where the center of jazz is, where the center of music is, and blues and that sort of thing. So to have these people come here and be celebrated in this Hall of Fame is something that must happen. It has to happen, because it recognizes that this city is one of these meccas for this kind of music.
Wow. Well, we want to thank you, because we're going to get in here so we can get our celebration and the festivities started to make things happen.
No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. For I have learned that all you give is all you get. So you give it all you've got. Had my share, drank my fill, and even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to see what's down the road. hero went to his home. For there's no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings, takes away. As long as I'm still in the game, I'm gonna play for laughs, for life, for love. So here's to life and every joy it brings. Here's to life. The dreamers, to dreamers and their dreams, to dreamers and their dreams. Behold, your stones be withered, and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. May all your storms be withered, and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. Here's to you. Here's to It's the Arnold Butler, ladies and gentlemen. Please, give it up. Some things are worth waiting for. And I don't know about you, but we just witnessed a magical moment. Please welcome the next inductee to the Barbara Morrison California James Giraldo.
Here's to life. When I heard Shirley Horn sing it, just blew me away, and that became one of my favorite songs. And then to be here this evening to hear the creator of the song blows my mind again. Thank you, Artie.
Warmer than a summer's night.
get to shine. And we made you the meadow in December. I see white and crystalline. But oh, my darling, always I'll remember when your lips were close to mine, and we saw the midnight sun. Thank you.
Thank you for all the accolades. So before I do anything, I want to make sure that we give a standing ovation, everybody in this room, to Barbara Morrison, who has done much more than I've ever done in this room. Let's stand up for Barbara. And done so many things, been fortunate to be blessed in the presence of all of this greatness in this room, and it's just really wonderful. And one hat that I want to wear right now, and as you know, I told Lance maybe I might come up on the drums and just see what happens up there, you know? So, you know, part of what happens with jazz is spontaneity, you know? Improvisation, instant creativity, and all of those things. So let's see what happens. I have never played with this band. I don't know these arrangements, but I was inspired to do something. So I'm going to get up here now, and I won't mess it up with a capital F. Okay?
There he is. You can't go just yet, because the reason why they invited you was you're more than just a pretty face, right? Barbara, come on over and stand with us. So please give a round of applause. The Sticks Hooper Scholarship Award recipient.
Mr. Sticks Hooper!
We want to thank you because we're going to get in here so we can get our celebration and the festivities started to make things happen. So thank you so much, Jay.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, viewers, for staying with us.
Yeah, Alan Shay, really appreciate you and all of the hard work you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Looked at it as like I'm just gonna, try something completely crazy or like just go out of my box sort of thing. I just looked at it as I want to be one of the best basketball players who have ever played. That's the end goal. Okay, how do I get there? How do I get there? And every decision I made in my life was centered around the process of helping me eventually get there. You know what I'm saying? So I had that purpose, and once I had that purpose, every decision that I made was centered around that purpose. My vision of what my goal is changed drastically as I got older. So like as a kid, I said, I want to be the best ever. Right? And now you go through your life and everything you do is try to be the best ever, be the best ever, be the best ever. And as you get older, you start understanding that those things are very superficial things. Right? And everybody has a different opinion about it. No matter what you do, I can win 20 championships. There's always an opinion on who's the best. Everybody has different opinions. And so I started really kind of understanding maybe that's not the important thing. Maybe the important thing is to, how do we as a team grow? How do I help my teammates be better? So that was the first change for me. And then as I got older still, it became more about how are you inspiring others, right, to find themselves. That is the ultimate championship. So what stays is how do you use your passion and use that to inspire somebody else to create their passion, and then how can they pass that on to the next person? That is true success. But also through storytelling, right? How can you share stories with the rest of the world that challenges them to look internally and to learn things like process and learn how to navigate the sense of self and all these things? How can you infuse that into entertainment in a way that pushes our culture and our society forward? Those are the questions that I'm really, really intrigued by, and that's what we'll focus on.
Golden in the house.
Yeah.
Is he in the house? What about Ron Kalina, Mr. Harmonica? This be you? Right on, Bubba. Stand right here with us as we call us all up. Come on in. Yes, ma'am. You are?
I am Judy Woolman. Ron Kalina was the love of my life for 13 years, and he passed away in 2016. But I have to play it too.
In a while. Scott Mitchell, jazz photographer. Where's Scott? Come join us. Come join us. Carl Randall. Where's Carl? So these are our honorees that will end that part of the program. How about a round of applause?
You must come by the museum because Scott Mitchell's exhibits are on display right now. You must come by the museum, 4317 Degnan, and really it's filled up our whole, it's made everything so historical. He's got, you name it, the blues, who was talking about the blues? He's got the blues, jazz, he's got everybody. So come and see Scott Mitchell's exhibit, okay?
Thank you all.
I just want to say I'm deeply humbled and honored. I'd like to thank my parents for getting me into photography at a very early age, and my wife for being so supportive. The best thing about what I do are the friendships that I've been able to develop over the years. And one quick Barbara story. 5 years ago, I had my first photo exhibit, and it was a photo exhibit, All-Star Jam. We took over a nightclub, and it was a big deal for me. It was a rainy Friday night, and Barbara had a gig in Orange County. She finished the gig, drove up to Tarzana in the rain, 11 p.m., got on stage, and the room was filled with all-star musicians that toured with rock stars, hip-hop artists. It was like royalty was here. She got on stage, sang 3 songs. Our musicians were fighting to be on stage, playing behind her. She blew the roof off the place. You could hear a pin drop in a rock and roll themed, bar. And I just want to say, Barbara Morrison, I love you, and thank you so much.
And I have a wonderful memory of Ron Kalina and Barbara Morrison, that when Barbara was performing at the Lowe's Hotel, do you remember how sometimes you'd be up there singing away, and all of a sudden from across the room there would be harmonica music coming there, and immediately Barbara would have Ron come up and always accompanying her, and it was just such a blessed moment. I loved it. Best.
I
I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to thank God for putting me in Barbara's life. Barbara, I love you. And I'm going to thank you, Barbara, for putting me in amongst all this awesome talent. Thank you.
You're not going to steal it from me. Get that out of your mind. Now going back to your seat. You're not going to get her. Unforgettable. In every way. And forevermore. In love. You heard that, right? Someone so unforgettable. They said I am unforgettable too. Thank you.
and walk. What hour goes from hand to hand. But before I let you go from man to man, you know I drink muddy water and sleep out in a hollow log. Listen, I love you, baby, but you won't be fair. You don't know how to be on the square. Have your fun, baby, if you must. But before I have a pretty woman I can't trust, I would drink muddy water. Sleep out in a hollow. Come on, sing some blues with me tonight. What?
Baby, you know I love you. You know I need you.
Well, it feels so good when my woman calls my name. Feels so good when my woman calls my name. She calls me so easy, oh, it's so doggone. Well, it's good to do some love, it's good to be loved too. I said it's good to get love and it's good to do some loving too. 'Cause when things bother you, then I'll move when you want to think that.
And we were able to get over here and get the Queen's Princess. No, we're going to call you the Princess. Okay. Why don't you share with the viewers how important is this type of event for this community and the genre of jazz?
Oh, it's very important because, first of all, our schools don't teach our children that anymore. Secondly, what Barbara is doing for the community is awesome. I mean, the history of jazz and blues, that's something that we really needed. And being that she is the only black woman, not only in the state of California, but in the United States, that own a museum. So I applaud her for that. I just, my hat's off to her. She's awesome. If anybody out there, please support the California Jazz and Blues Museum. You won't be disappointed.
You may stand high up in this land, people moving at your command, but when the Lord gets ready, you got to move. Move. You may be lame and cannot walk. You may be dumb and cannot talk. But when the Lord gets ready, you've got to move. You 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 got to move. When the Lord gets ready, you got to move. You got to
There's a choice we have to make as people, as individuals. If you want to be great at something, you have to make inherent sacrifices that come along with that. Family time, hanging out with your friends. At the age of 18, I knew that I was not going to be stopped. This was my life. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make sacrifices that come along with making that decision. And once you have the passion, the thing that you're passionate about now, you can look at other people or other entities or other things or works of art, and you can draw things from that to help you be better at what you do by looking for those common denominators. Johnny wanted to know, how do I prepare? How do I prepare? How do I study? How do I view the game? How do you build your game? And my response is much like the way he builds products. You think sequentially. Yeah, you look at this, the end result of what you want to create, but in order to create that, there's so many other little things that go into this massive entity or device. It's no different than building my basketball game. You start with, what do you want your game to be? What would make your game most unstoppable or hard to deal with? And now you work backwards from there. And you start building it one piece at a time, one move at a time, one counter at a time. So there's a lot of similarities there.
Well, yeah, you just gotta have the fearlessness to really take those shots, because you miss those shots, then you have to deal with the criticism. It's always been a myth to me as to why certain people don't really like those situations because of the pressure. Because we've all lost games before.
So it's not like by you missing that shot, you're about to face something that you will never face again or haven't faced in the past. You know what I mean? We've all come up short at one time or another. So you just gotta kind of let it all hang out and trust your skills and trust the work that you've put in.
So that means taking things, using things in your life that are scars, using those moments as a weapon, right? Using those as, using basketball as kind of like a vehicle through which to express yourself, right? So at that moment, for us to face the Celtics again, it's not about the Celtics. It's not about your opponent. It's about you. It's about you taking your inner struggles and channeling that through the game, right? As a way to unleash, right? So now it became a matter of how do I express that to them? How do I get them to that point where they figure this out for themselves? Because I can't say, hey, listen, I need you to play harder.
So what'd you do?
Well, I had to share my story. I had to open up to them and let them know I've dealt with things. This is the things that I use. This is how I go about focus. This is how I deal with adversity. This is how I deal with, arguing with my wife the day of a game and showing up to the game and still having that focus to be able to play. Like, I used those things to open up with them. And then in turn, they were able to take those stories and make them their own.
If you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, dude, do something else. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make, but when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience.
We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make sacrifices that come along with making that decision.
There's certain things that we want to get to, but we have to pace those out because we have to have absolute focus.
Well, you just got to put one foot in front of the other. And, sometimes I think, even for myself, it's easy to become distracted a little bit and start trying to look at what the final picture is going to look like. And, when you do that, you can easily become frustrated with where you are at the moment. So, my advice is just to focus on each day. And, you have a plan in place of how you want to improve and how you want to get better. And you stick to that plan and trust the fact that, every day that you stick to the plan, it'll get you to your end result.
I'm not going to be afraid of confrontation to get us to where we need to go. I think there's a big misconception where people think winning or success comes from everybody putting their arms around each other and singing Kumbaya and patting them on the back when they mess up, and that's just not reality. If you're going to be a leader, you're not going to please everybody. And you got to hold people accountable, even if you have that moment of being uncomfortable.
Matter of fact, get your hands off me. Don't touch me the rest of the scrimmage. Get your hands off me.
I always compare it to sitting across from somebody at a dinner table. If we're sitting across from each other, and would you rather sit with a person that's going to be afraid to tell you have something in between your teeth and let you walk around the restaurant smiling and stuff like that when you got stuff in between your teeth? Or would you rather sit with somebody that's not afraid to have that moment of being uncomfortable to tell you you have something in your teeth so you can get it out and don't look like an idiot in front of everybody else? Right? I'm going to tell you have something in your teeth.
No matter what, even if it hurts my feelings.
I'm going to tell you have something in your teeth. I'm going to tell you. And then it's your choice if you want to get it out or you just want to leave it there and look like an idiot.
Everybody wants to compete. I think it's knowing how to compete, and also, true competitive instinct really kicks in when you're down. And like I said, a lot of people are competitive at things that are rolling their way, and things that they're naturally good at. But it takes a true competitive person to, when things are down like this, to really step up to the plate and go after it.
I've always had some of my best performances on the road. When fans boo, I absolutely love it.
Do you remember what you told me one day in the forum when I first met you? You said you were going to be the finish it for me.
What, the greatest player of all time?
Yes. You remember you told me that?
No, but that sounds something. No, that sounds like something I would say. you actually said that, and then you actually said I'm gonna be the Will Smith of the NBA. This was
really? Yeah, and I was like, all right, okay,
Will Smith.
You said.
Yeah, times have changed. I've always had ambition.
Can you promise me one thing?
What's up?
I need 50 that night. Can you do it? The last home game at the Staples. Can you give us 50?
Ordered two.
No.
What did you guys learn about your team from this series, and how's it going to help you improve moving on in this playoffs?
That we're bipolar.
In a part-time job, you guys were awful. You sucked, whatever. Do you think you guys deserve all the the beating that you took in the media?
A lot of times, writers, when they write stuff like that, it means they care. They're Laker fans anyway. We have to get better. We have to get better at playing together. We have to get better at spacing. We have to get better at ball movement. Jesus Christ, can you believe I'm saying this?
Was it motivating to you at all that ESPN ranked you the 40th best player in the league?
Nah, not really. I've known for a long time they're a bunch of idiots. Remember when Kobe Bryant used to dunk and it wasn't a surprise? But every time he dunks, it's a big deal.
That's his ball. Goes baseline. Lays it in, slam dunk. Now that'd be his first slam dunk of the season. And that's impressive. But here's some vintage Kobe.
And even I thought he's going to pull up here. But he rips through Barnes and goes to the opposite.
Bryant goes to work. Bryant the drive. Oh! And nobody came quick enough to stop it. Look at this finish, though.
13 and 2.5 blocks. The Mamba, the Black Mamba strikes again. Clint Capella, oh my goodness. And a technical foul. I think it's a technical because the bench of the Lakers ran onto the floor.
You take a look, Chris Rock sitting right next to Kobe Bryant, shooting the breeze, funniest man in the world, telling jokes, and take a look at Kobe Bryant. I don't even hear you.
Mamba out.
April is International Jazz Appreciation Month, so join the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center and 88.1 K-Jazz for Broadway in the Leimert Park, the West Coast's biggest Jazz Appreciation Month celebration, as we pay tribute to Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, John Coltrane, Duke Ellington, Sarah Vaughan, Dizzy Gillespie, Dinah Washington, Joe Williams, Billie Holiday, B.B. King, Lena Horne, and many, many more. It all starts on April 1st, all the way through April 30th. There'll be educational lectures and shows by yours truly, Barbara Morrison, the John Stevens Quartet, Al Williams and the Jazz Society, Jay Jackson, Sloan Robinson, and many more. Proceeds from Broadway in the Leimert Park will benefit the California Jazz and Blues Museum. All this will take place at the BMPAC in Leimert Park. For full event and ticket purchase information, please go to barbaramorrison.com. We'll see you here.